Hello, everyone. My name is Guanliang. I am a lecturer working at Monash University in Melbourne. And first thing that I want to say is I hate coronavirus. I was really looking forward to attending LAK in Frankfurt this year because in the past 3 years, I didn't attend LAK. But this is life. Hopefully, I can see you in person in next year. And the second message that I want to say before my presentation is our paper did deliver lots of interesting results, and we use multiple techniques. So during my presentation, if I move forward too quickly sometimes, occasionally, please don't mind. I have to, because I really want to provide you with the most interesting and most important results to you in 20 or 22 minutes. And for those people, if you don't have time to scrutinize my paper, I also wrote a blog post about our paper, and this is the link. Feel free to take a look. It will probably only take you 10 minutes to read through the post. But it will give you the most important, interesting results from our work. Okay, let's start. So, this side. Oh shit. Okay. So, this work is on. Thanks to my collaborators, Rita, Raphael, and Jagan. They really helped me a lot to push out this paper. And first of all, my motivation. So why do we need to do this research? I think all of us kind of get the feeling that in the past decades, both LAK and EDM emerged as the two of the most influential conferences venues for researchers as well as practitioners to report their findings from data-intensive educational research. As early as in the establishment of these two conferences, LAK and EDM had been compared by researchers in terms of their similarities and dissimilarities. For example, I think both of the two venues, they stress on the utilization of large-scale educational data to better support various types of educational activities. But at the same time, they also have many dissimilarities. For example, EDM places a bigger emphasis on utilizing the data to automate learning adaptation, and that is part of the reason why there have been so many studies on knowledge chasing, intelligent tutoring systems in EDM. And when it comes to LAK, obviously, I think LAK research at the very beginning, they stress more on utilizing the data to better inform our tutors, our instructors, as well as the learners to better direct their efforts in the learning process, in the teaching and learning process. But we should remember that EDM was born in 2008 and LAK was born in 2011. So now, after the development of about a decade, now we are in 2020. Now what? I think we argue that it is time for us to compare LAK and EDM again in a more systematic manner to deliver useful insights to better, hopefully those insights can be used to guide the future development of the two communities. And okay, our work was guided by 3 research questions. The first one is regarding the research topics. What research topics are commonly investigated in LAK and EDM? And the second one is, okay, by saying comparing the two communities. So in what aspects So we compare LAK and EDM from the following 4 different aspects, including the investigative research topics, the community development, community diversity, as well as research impact. And last but not least, hopefully we also want to not hopefully, and we also want to deliver some useful insight for future works, for future research directions for different research topics, to better direct the research efforts of our researchers in both of the 2 communities. When it comes to the methods that we use to answer these research questions, for the first one, we used a topic modeling method. To be more specific, we use the title and abstracts from the papers as input to a hierarchical topic modeling method, which can cluster the papers into different topic groups. And you can see here, each dot represents 1 paper, and each circle represents 1 paper group. And after we identify the topic groups, we recruit 3 domain experts to choose proper names for each of the topic groups. For the second research question, because we want to investigate the differences between LAK and EDM in terms of the investigated topics, that means actually we want to find out the research focus of the 2 communities. So we define the metric called T-score. Basically, here are the 2 mathematical formulations of the T-score, but you can simply understand this metric as can be treated as a proxy of the amount of researcher efforts allocated for different research topics, either in a specific year or can be aggregated to represent their overall research focus over the years. As for community development, here we are mainly interested in 2 things. And the first one is whether LAK and EDM have attracted more and more authors over the years, and more importantly, who those authors are. To investigate this, so we not only count the number of the total number of the contributing authors, but we also depict the composition of the authors. For example, those who have never published in the 2 conferences before, who have only published in the same conferences before, and who had published in the other conference before, and who had published in both of the 2 conferences before. And the second thing that we want to investigate here is whether the authors in the 2 communities are connected with each other differently. So to answer this, we borrow a set of metrics from network science to analyze the co-authorship networks of the 2 communities, including like the number of the nodes, the number of edges, and the average degree of the 2 co-authorship networks. And as for community development, okay, no question. Okay, then I can continue. As for community diversity, so we actually focus on the contributing authors as well as the affiliations to which the authors belong to. For authors, we try to investigate their gender diversity, ethnicity diversity, as well as nationality diversity. And for affiliations, we mainly interested in the regions of those affiliations. For these 3, actually, we inform these 3 attributes based on the names of the authors. we borrow some automated tools. Actually, we borrowed two automated tools. One is generalize, and the other is name prison to infer such attributes based on the names of the authors. As for affiliations, actually we rely on Wikipedia, the API provided by Wikipedia, but we really want to qualify the diversity, the community diversity into numerical value, so that motivates us to use this method. It not only considers the numbers of the species in a community, but also the abundance of a specific species in the community. By saying a species, actually, I mean, for example, the authors of different gender and authors of different ethnicity or affiliations belonging to different regions. And the last one is research impact. We simply define the three metrics to measure based on the citations, like average number of the citations that LAK and EDM authors received, LAK and EDM papers received, or the citations that papers of a topic received. And for the last research question, actually the assumption is quite simple. We base on one simple observation. You know, when we wrote paper, we usually discuss the current gaps and the potential research directions for future work in the sessions whose title contains the keywords like discussion, limitation, and future work. And our assumption is, if certain terms are often used to describe in such discussions, we believe that we argue that such terms can be actually used to shed some light on the future directions of that specific topic. And those terms actually are retrieved by utilizing word-to-web. And okay, I saw one question, but I will deal with it after I present this, because I think I am a bit behind the schedule. Okay, so the results for RQ1, actually we first collect only the full and short papers of the two communities. In total, we have this number of LAK papers and this number of EDM papers. And one particular thing that we can see in recent years, actually we can see the number of LAK papers is getting slightly more than the EDM papers. And about actually this table depicts the 11 topic groups that we identify based on the collected papers. And here are the characteristic keywords relevant to each topic group. But the key message here is, in total, we identify 11 topic groups, which were commonly investigated by LAK and EDM. And the top three, I mean, most popular ones are actually predictive and descriptive analytics, and the engagement patterns and resource use, and multimodal learning analytics and collaborative learning. And as for the differences in terms of the investigated topics, this plot depicts the overall T-score of different topics. The red bars are LAK and the yellow ones are EDM. But you can see actually for these two topics that we can see researchers have more publication, spent more research focus on in EDM than LAK. But on engagement patterns and resource use or effects on teaching and learning practice, actually LAK has a large portion of research works. And actually, this is quite in line with the initial goal of the two conferences. That means actually, for example, EDM focus more on predictive analytics and using data to automate the adaptation, but LAK place more emphasis on utilizing the data to gather the insights to better support instructors, for example, to investigate the engagement patterns of the students, what insights that the instructors can get, can utilize to better direct their teaching efforts. But when it comes to the T-score across each year, actually not much differences can be observed. Okay, here is an interesting one. So remember that we classify the authors based on their previous involvement to the two conferences. And the first thing that we can see is, okay, both of the two communities grew bigger and bigger, which is a super good thing. And the second most interesting thing that observation we should notice is pay attention to the yellow part. The yellow part means that authors who had published in the other conference before, only published in the other conference before. So you can see that actually in LAK, starting from 2015, we can see that LAK seems to attract more and more EDM researchers to the LAK, to the solar community. This is also like a very exciting news for the LAK members. And as for the to what extent the authors are connected with each other, so we can see the key message is, okay, EDM authors were slightly closer and more connected to their peers than the LAK authors. For example, when we check the average degree, we can see that EDM authors, on average, they connect to 4.7 authors. When it comes to LAK, this is only 4.46, slightly less than the EDM authors. And this is the nationality diversity. We can see, okay, by saying Central English, that means people from immigration countries like US, Canada, and Australia. We can see LAK just more Central English and European. And while EDM actually just more East Asian. And this is ethnicity. Also, like LAK attracts more to white people, but EDM attracts more Asian and Pacific Islanders. This is a very interesting one. Affiliation diversity. We can see that actually EDM attracts more of the affiliations from North America, and the European actually. No, this is EDM attracts more affiliations from North America, but LAK attracts more affiliations from Europe. But when it comes to the overall diversity measured by Simpson's index, we can actually see that, okay, since our counterparts seems to do a better job than us, EDM has a slightly more diverse community than us in terms of these 4 dimensions. This is the Simpson's index across the years. And to put it simple, similar findings can also be observed. And when it comes to research impact, okay, so great news. It seems that LAK papers attract, you can see attract more citations than EDM, not only for the researchers, but also for the papers. But The same goes to the papers of each topic. And for RQ3, this is also the characteristic keywords derived from the future work sessions, which can be regarded as relevant for each topic, the future direction of each topic. So basically, to save your time, also save my time, the first message is, okay, for example, when we check multimodal learning analytics and collaborative learning, you can see the top 1 and top 2 keywords are posture and gaze. When we actually check the papers, the future work sections of those papers, of this category, so we can see actually many papers, they actually suggest on the capture and utilization of this type of data for the research on this specific topic. When it comes to reading and writing analytics, actually we can also see that more and more researchers, they suggest that more research efforts are required in modeling learners' comprehension. Okay, finally, take-home messages. And the first one is, of course, we only derive 11 general topic clusters, topic groups for both of the two communities. It is very beneficial and necessary for the two communities to pay attention to the research published in the other community and learn from each other, especially by checking the subtopics within each topic group. And the second thing I also want to raise is citation does not mean everything. Even though we realize that, LAK papers seems to be more cited than EDM papers in general, but does that mean, citation is the only indicator of research impact? What about the number of news reports revolving around the research achievement derived by the two communities? What about the development systems from the two communities which have actually been put into use? And also the last thing is we do derive certain interesting results, and those insights, those results can be used as the starting point to raise discussion. What kind of effective strategies that should be developed to, for example, to increase the diversity of the two communities? Is it possible to for the two communities to provide necessary travel grants for underrepresented people to actually present their research in person in those two in the two conferences, so as to engage more underrepresented people? So this is something we want to raise the attention of the conferences of the two community stakeholders to think about. Okay, 5 minutes behind my schedule. Okay, time for questions. Thank you.